Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Ridiculous. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The Film Blurs Feature Film Review.
All right, what do we want to start with?
I'm going to start and then I'll do my one solo movie and then you do yours. Because, I'll go first because this is a waste of everybody's fucking time, bro. Honestly, Star Trek, Section 31, a Paramount Plus original, as they proudly state at the beginning of this fucking movie. And if you're dropping a Paramount Plus movie on January 24th, and it's a spinoff of one of your most successful and acclaimed shows, already you're setting off a red flag. And look, you guys listen to the show. Jeff knows this. I'm not a Trekkie.
Right.
But even as somebody who's not a Trekkie, I'm like, from top to bottom, this is a piece of shit. Now I see why the fans were pissed, because I remember reading these tweets. So I'm like, see, this is why I fucking hate nerds. Y'all just complaining to complain about shit. And then I watched it, and 10 minutes in, I'm like, oh no, this is fucking terrible.
Look, the sun shines on a dog's asshole once a day, right? They can't be wrong all the time.
Yo, this is rough, and I mean rough with a capital R, saying it like fucking rough McGruff. It is rough. Damn. A lot of directorial flourishes where I'm just like, this is why maybe you should stick to just doing episodes of TV.
Mm-hmm.
The writing is across the board atrocious, Jeff. The dialogue, everything to do with all the characters. It is, Jeff, this feels like a fucking 15-year-old who thinks he's funny wrote this. Imagine a 15-year-old writing Suicide Squad or Mission Impossible set in the Star Trek universe.
I'm sure there's plenty of fan fiction out there on Reddit that is exactly like that, and it's all probably horrible.
Yeah, this is pretty fucking bad, man. That's all I can say. And there's a cameo from a prominent actress in the last scene, and I was just like, this is just in here because Michelle Yeoh is now best friends with this actress.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I know. You don't even have to say I know. I feel like you can figure it out.
It's an hour and 35 minutes, and it feels much longer.
Yeah, and I'm a Star Trek fan. I used to be diehard. Now I'm just a casual fan. But yeah, no, I have no desire to watch this.
Yeah, bro. I got nothing else to say. I'm gonna let you take the stage.
Well, let's. Here's another one.
It's January, y'all.
It's January. So on Netflix, Netflix dropped Back in Action, which is a family spy comedy starring Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz. Look, like we said earlier, I'm a sucker for spy shit, even comedy spy shit. But here's the thing. It either has to be funny or the action has to be good. If it's neither, right, then you have a heaping bowl of CGI shit, right? This is PG-13, which is already a strike against it, simply because of the amount of violence in it. There is literally a fist fight every 5 to 10 minutes. which would be cool if it felt visceral, right? I do like the way the combat was choreographed because uh, Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx were always fighting together, right?
It just didn't look clean.
It just didn't feel like as cool as it should be, right? Because they're
Right, right.
always
So
it's
it's stagey.
it's stagey, right? But
That
like the
sucks.
concept of them always like they are actually a team, and like even their combat is team based.
All right.
It doesn't come across here. The kids are annoying, but like everybody knows, I hate kid actors. The acting wasn't bad. I just found the kids fucking annoying. You know, you have the angry, pissed off teenage daughter. You have the fucking shut in nerdy kid. Nothing about this is original, right? If you can't see the twists and turns a mile ahead, then congratulations, you've never seen a movie, and I have some things to show you. If you've never,
That's how I felt about one movie we'll get to later, where
right,
it's just like, I've seen this.
yeah, like so. It's look, if you have nothing better to do and you want to watch something, go ahead, put it on. You're gonna forget about it 10 minutes after. I will say the chemistry between Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx is apparent, so I do like them together. I just wish it was in a better movie. The thing that pissed me off the most about it is their kids get kidnapped. You know, as they're of course they're going to get kidnapped. If these people were really parents in this universe, if anyone thought about it, these parents would have murdered everybody in these fucking rooms instead of having these elaborate fucking gotta knock him out, gotta make him pass out type shit. They would have just straight broken necks, stabbed dudes in the head to get to their fucking kids, right? And because the movie is so bad, that was glaring to me. The fact that like I'm not a parent, but I've known plenty of parents. They will kill. They will threaten to kill over fucking a lunchroom argument. So you're gonna tell me that them getting kidnapped by international fucking arms dealers, they're not gonna go fucking berserk on them? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that, right? So like it's just shit like that. This feels like it was written by AI.
Doesn't that how every Netflix movie feels, though?
I mean, it probably is. It probably really is. Everything is CGI. Like all the set pieces are mostly the boat chase is CGI. The plane crash is CGI. And I get it. You probably had no budget, but fucking then do something else.
It's okay to do like a middle stakes set pieces. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yeah.
everything has to be huge.
Right,
And
like,
y'all don't have the resources to do huge. That's the problem.
like the first action set piece. The plane crashes, and there's a avalanche because there's always a fucking avalanche. Like I want to put a moratorium on fucking avalanches in these fucking movies.
Yeah.
And it just
it
looks so cutscene-y.
Could you see it, or was it dark like Red One?
No, I mean I'll give it this. It was better lit than Red One. So there you go. There's that. So fucking back in action. Just go watch the Hitman's Bodyguard or the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
I heard a lot of people say it's like Spy Kids 2.
Yeah, sure. I never saw Spy Kids 2, but yeah, I totally.
I meant Spy Kids also. That's what I meant by that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, but yeah, watch Spy Kids. It's the same thing except for fun and better. Yep, that's back in action. There we go.
All right. Well, I'm going to do one quick one before we get into our two main reviews, which is, ladies and gentlemen, 50 years of music on SNL. They go through, watch this. This is done by Questlove and his homie. I can't remember his homie's name, but they go through the history of live performances on SNL, and the mashups in the first 7 minutes. I was just like, oh, this is already a masterpiece just on the mashups they do. And then it gets into the first performances of SNL, and like watching Sun Ra and like Captain Beefheart perform, I was just like, They really did have Captain. Like I know who Captain Beefheart is.
Right.
He's weird. Even I'm sitting here watching this, like, yo, why do they have him performing on TV? Like, it went exactly how you thought it would go. Miles Davis performed, and he performed with his back to the audience the entire time.
I wish I could have been around for old school SNL.
SNL.
Yeah.
So we could see Sun Ra as the people sitting at home are like,
What
the fuck?
Yeah. I want to see fucking Miles Davis just fucking his back to the audience. I'm just jamming, dude. I'm just doing my thing.
Oh man, yeah. Captain Beefheart had me fucking dying because once he finished, nobody applauded.
Yeah, because they were in shock. They didn't know what the fuck went on.
Like that shit was just SNL was just this avant-garde show.
Yeah,
that had avant-garde music guests.
I wish it were this weird now instead of this fake weird, like that we have.
Yeah, so they get into all the controversial shit too, like Fear, because there's that punk band Fear who performed, and John Belushi wouldn't host the episode unless Fear played. And I remember hearing this story and how they destroyed the SNL studio and how people in the audience got injured from Fear. And it's just like, no, they just brought a punk show to SNL. Like, nobody got hurt. Nothing was destroyed. Like, y'all were just y'all blew that out of proportion. They get into the Rage Against the Machines controversy, and listening to Tom Morello tell that story, I was like, yeah, of course it was Timmy who got them in trouble, because it's always Timmy getting them in trouble.
Right.
Because, do you remember the MTV Video Music Awards where they lost to Limp Bizkit and what Timmy did then?
I can't remember what he did.
He climbed the set and started rocking back and forth on the set.
I do not. You
don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
I think that was from '99. That was the best when Chris Rock first hosted and brought down the house.
Things used to be interesting and not horrible.
Yeah, so they were booked to do the episode the same time as Steve Forbes, who had just had an unsuccessful campaign to be Republican president of the United States. That's who they decided to book together. So they hung their flags upside down, and you can hear the audio, and you just hear all the engineers like, take those flags down. You cannot hang those flags. Bro, Rage had their roadies blocking the stage so they couldn't come on stage and take the flags down as they're about to go on. 15 seconds from the show, the engineers, the producers are all in a fight, like a literal physical fight, and you can hear the audio to get on stage and just tear down the flags. With 15 seconds to go, they managed to get the flags down. Rage performs. Timmy is so pissed off by what happened. He goes into their dressing room, finds the American flag, that one of their flags that they hung upside down in the dressing room. He takes it, balls it up, makes it into like a mace type weapon, and across the hallway was Steve Forbes' dressing room, and he was gonna go in there with that shit and destroy it. Lo and behold, that nigga walks in there and his family's in there. So he's still pissed, and he realizes his family's in there. So in the most violent way possible, he just throws the flag at like his uncle's head, and it just unfurls and the flag just flies across the room. And mind you, this nigga literally just ran for president. So you know what happens? The Secret Service storm in and grab them all and throw them out of the building.
Wait, yeah, I cannot wait to watch this documentary. Like, you sold it just on that story. So don't go anymore. Like, that sounds fucking amazing.
The best story is the Sinead O'Connor story, because that is the most infamous story from SNL. And I always wondered why, as a kid, why she did it. And when you hear her do it, everybody was like, yeah, we were on her side, but it was the 90s, and
you
in the 90s, that shit just didn't fly.
Yeah.
And her reasoning, I'd be like, yeah, I would do the fucking shit too if that happened to me.
Yeah, so this sounds like Questlove should just do documentaries from now on.
Oh yeah, he
Like,
has another one. His Sly and the Family Stone one's dropping on Hulu next week.
yeah, so like he's really he is a master creative. Like there's nothing he doesn't touch.
Yo, because
Right?
the way this flows too, it flows perfectly.
Yes. I can't wait.
They get into the Ashley Simpson performance, and you're just watching it, and you're just like, wow, that's what happens when there's no communication.
Was that the lip sync thing? Like I
Yep.
don't like. Yeah, I
You
there's
get the full story. You get the full story.
All right. Well, look,
Apparently Questlove reached out to Jessica and Ashley to get their side, and they both declined.
right, because it's one of the most embarrassing things in your career. Of course, you don't want to relive that in a documentary.
So Questlove's sitting there interviewing Lauren, and he's like, so Lauren, are people really banned from ever playing again? And he's just like, no, nobody's been banned. He's like, we're too crass and too opportunistic to ever ban a musical artist.
Yeah, that sounds like some political. That sounds like the most political ass answer I've ever heard. Like, yeah.
So then I'm like, yo, bring back Rage then. You can't bring back Sinead, God rest her soul. But bring back Rage.
I mean, I'd be there for that. I'd be there for that.
Oh, yeah, especially now that we got Agent Orange. I can only imagine what their performance would be. I know exactly what it'd be. They would bring in a cop car and set it on fire and just perform. And that would be their performance.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So yeah, on Peacock right now, absolutely watch it. Ladies and gentlemen, 50 years of SNL. Like it goes through the whole shit of being a music artist. They even go into people pulling double duty who, host and do.
Right.
And even people who've done that, they're like, that's when you know you're a superstar. And when you're christened is when you get to do both.
Right. 100%.
So like they get into that, and that's a whole segment.
Yeah, so I'm gonna watch it this weekend since we don't have a new episode.
So all right, let's get into Hard Eyes. Go ahead, Jeff. I've talked enough for a hot second.
All right, so I didn't know anything about this movie until I saw it. I saw the trailer before one of them days. Looking at it, I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't have much expectations for it, and it did not disappoint me in the amount of disappointment that I had with this fucking movie. I wanted to like it so much more, right? And I was giving it pass after pass after pass because I saw what they were trying to do. What they were trying to do was make it a rom-com with horror elements, right? The thing about it is it was neither romantic or comedic. The scares were just jump scares. The horror elements, the gore elements, it hit or miss. Yeah, some of it was inventive. Some of it was just like over the fucking top. This is. I would have liked to have seen this from someone who knew what they were doing, right? Because it could have been an all-time movie.
Yo, so I don't rarely do I talk in movies, but I was talking a lot because I was just fucking bored. And there was times where I was tempted to just get up and get out because I had to use the bathroom, and I was just like, bro, I might just go take a 15-minute shit at the next down part because I was not in this at all.
Yeah, I fell asleep during the car scene, right?
Yeah,
like this,
see?
like it. There's the scene in the van. You'll see it in the trailer.
That shit goes on for a long time.
It goes on too long, and it just got boring, right? Like this is the part. This is the part where like the two leads are getting to know each other, and we're getting the backstories, and it's just so fucking boring.
Look, my I think the biggest problem here is Olivia Holt,
Right.
her character, it's the Julia Garner problem too, where we're now got back to back two underwritten female leads in a horror movie, and this one is much more egregious than Wolfman, because like at every turn they write this woman played by Olivia Holt to be unlikable, and to a point where I'm just like, do like this is like Jesus Christ. God bless Mason Gooding's character and Olivia Holt. They're both doing a lot for a script that is just not there. Cause like the whole time I'm like, bro, no dude would put up with this shit for this long.
Right. Exactly. The thing is, the comedy in this, right, plays like it should be a parody, right? It felt like it wanted to be a parody of horror films and romantic comedies, but they play it straight, right? So the jokes never like I chuckled a couple of times, but it's not hilarious. None of the jokes hit because the tone is off.
I want to just bring this up. This is written by Philip Murphy, Michael Kennedy, and Christopher Landon. Michael Kennedy and Christopher Landon are queer. Christopher Landon, you people probably know him as the dude who's written every single Paranormal Activity movie and has written and directed the first Happy Death Day, wrote and directed Happy Death Day to You, wrote and directed Freaky, and he directed the Netflix movie that dropped last year or a couple of years ago, We Have a Ghost. And he directed a movie coming out in April called Drop, which I just recently saw the trailer for. And I saw Jillian Jacobs. It's like written by Jillian Jacobs. I was like, oh shit, she wrote a movie.
Cool.
That's one where I felt like this, where I'm just like, I don't know about this. Like I saw I was like with Jeff, the first time I've seen a trailer for this was before one of them days. And I was just like, yeah, sure. Only reason why me and Jeff went to see this is because this is so early.
Right?
Like this is a whole week and a half that they showed this movie to us before it drops. And otherwise, like had this been a week of, like they gave this to us like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I would have been like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah. And like the fact that they gave it to us so early, it was an indicator to us that, all right, maybe they have some faith in this. Maybe this is actually going to be good.
Yeah. It reminds me of Happy Death Day 1, a movie people liked and I didn't. Like I like Happy Death Day 2. But Happy Death Day 1 also suffered from me like the tonal inconsistencies that this does. And the jokes weren't funny. Like a lot of people thought the jokes in that movie were funny. I'm like, no, they're not funny. Like now, seeing that the 2 of the 3 male writers on this are gay, I was like, oh, that makes sense. I understand how they wrote Olivia Holt's character. And maybe next time, I'm just saying, pass this by a woman first.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say them being gay has anything to do with comedic sensibilities.
No, not that. I'm talking about,
but like the way the women like are written, it's not a fucking good movie. And this is from someone who I liked Freaky.
Did you? I thought that was dumb as fuck.
It was dumb as fuck, but it knew it was dumb as fuck, right? This thinks it's trying to do something new. And the end, when you reveal who the killer is.
Oh yeah,
and
was not surprised.
Like all these other movies, like if you've never seen a movie, then you'll be surprised. If you watched consumed any sort of horror in the last 20 years, you know exactly what's going on. The end, the last 15 minutes made me hate the movie, honestly.
You know what this is to me? This is a fake ass Scream.
Yeah, 100% a fake ass Scream, right? Like I was willing to give it a pass because it was trying, but that last 15 minutes is like, you motherfuckers. Oh.
Yo, y'all want to know how bad this shit was and how bored I was? As soon as they revealed who the killer was, I leaned over to Jeff. I was like, yo, Jeff, you still using that cup? And you were just like, nah, man. He gave it to me, and I walked out to the lobby and tried every single flavor they had for Captain America from the Coke Freestyle machine. Like, I was gone for 5 minutes.
You didn't
Came
miss
back
shit.
in.
Didn't miss shit.
And yeah, exactly. They were still talking. I was like, damn. All right.
Did not miss a goddamn thing. It was. You said it last night. This could have been on Netflix. This should have been a Netflix movie. I mean, it is a Netflix movie.
The only reason I'm not pissed is because we saw it so early and it's short. Like, I'm not mad. I would be like, the only way I could get mad is if it was like Argyle.
I mean,
Argyle was long.
Yeah. But like quality wise, it's not much better than Argyle. But like lengthwise, it's like sure, okay. But it felt like the long parts were torturously long.
At least they didn't pull any tropes at the end of the movie like they do with every horror movie this day, where the killer's really alive and pops back out for a jump scare, or they set up some to be continued bullshit.
I mean, they could have. We didn't stay. Like as soon as the credits started rolling, like everybody dipped out.
Yeah.
Like no one sat there to see if there was a post credit scene. We were all like, nah, we're good.
Yeah, man. This movie's 97 minutes. Feels much longer. I ain't gonna lie. Like, yo, shout out to Mason Gooden. I ain't know he was Cuba's son.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Just found that out. I hope he doesn't do anything problematic like Cuba. You hear that clip? That clip of him in the club that still cracks me up.
Which one? He's got caught on tape a couple times.
Yo, where he's in the club and he's drunk and he's like, yo, somebody suck that baby's dick. Somebody suck that baby's dick.
I do not remember that. That's new to me. That is,
yeah, bro.
I
remember hearing that for the first time, and I'm like, yo, man, how does immediately you go like, to a baby's dick, bro?
Dog, you have an Oscar. Right? Like, conduct yourself with some decorum.
Yo, I say fucked up shit all the time, but I would never think to involve anything doing or referring to a baby's dick.
Well, here's the thing. I want to know what the conversation was beforehand that he thought suck that baby's dick was an appropriate response.
Or to yell out.
Like,
in the club.
What was the setup for that? Like, that's what I want to know. What was the fucking setup?
Mason, aka White Girl Whisperer, don't fuck up like your dad.
Yeah. I cannot suggest you see this movie at all, but I really can't suggest you see this in the theater. Don't do that. Don't.
You know why you don't need to see this shit? Because Companion comes out this weekend, and it's they beat them to the punch as far as like romantic horror movies. Like, they're tackling different things, but like they're both the same length, and one is greatly better than the other.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah.
Like I'm gonna be real. I would not be surprised within like a week or two. I forget that we even saw this shit.
I've already forgotten most of it, and we're not like I don't even want to talk about the weird sound design choices
or the best friend,
or like the best friend that has nothing to do with anything. No
other
payoff.
Than to be a gold digger and use that as a joke.
No payoff.
Right.
And it's like I said, the long parts are long.
let's get into the Hobbs and Shaw shit. First off, Devin Sawa, dog, like you aged like 30 years in 5 years time. God damn.
Well, he spent all that fucking idle hands money, man.
And you know what makes it worse is that it involves Jordana Brewster, where they're just like, wait, you guys are named Hobbs and Shaw. You get it, Hobbs and Shaw.
When the jokes don't hit, they are obvious, right? There's not even a chuckle; it's a groan.
I hope that my friend Scott Wampler, I hope that's just a dedication to him, because otherwise that's just also weird to have a character name SB Wampler.
Right. Yeah. Like there are a lot of horror in jokes, but they're so obscure
Right.
and randomly placed. It doesn't.
Because Scott was well known, but like not like
Right.
super well known. And he's a great, like I said, a great friend of mine. I really do, especially in these trying times, miss him.
Right. Yeah.
But like, yeah.
This it'll be on streaming in 3 weeks or less. If you really want to watch it, go ahead and wait for it to be on whatever service, but don't spend any money on this.
Yeah, man. Like, yo, bro, go see Companion. Like Valentine's Day. If you're not gonna make it out this weekend, then like wait till Valentine's Day. You know, your girl's like, I'm not seeing that fucking Captain America bullshit. You'd be like, all right, what else is there to see? Companion. There we go.
There you go.
The only cool thing I could say about this was the infrared. The night vision infrared.
That wasn't
tight.
even that impressive to me. It was like, all right, that's cool, but
yeah, no, that was tight.
Too little, too late.
That was tight. That was the only part of the movie, though.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And it went for everything cheap too, y'all. From jump scares to kills. Like,
yeah, like CGI blood.
That's partially why I was bored, because you knew what was coming.
Right, like the mass murder scene at the drive-in with the digital blood on the lens. Like, yeah, it's
real quick question before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't he immediately started killing people once they went to the drive-in?
Why didn't he? That is a good question, right? That is a question that should have been answered in the script. If someone had cared to actually write a good script.
All right.
Like there are so many fucking holes in this.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. And like, in case you watch this, I don't want to ruin anything, but the holes have to do with the killer.
And you know what? God bless Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding, because they are trying.
Yeah. Like, I think they should have just scrapped the horror elements and made this a rom-com, and maybe it would have been decent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
Or have them be in a relationship already.
Something.
Yeah.
Something better than what we got.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. All right.
Hard eyes. All right. Let's get into our final review. Dogman.
This movie is going to be a cult classic for stoners. It is. I didn't know anything about Dogman before watching this. It is amazingly weird. It is super weird. It is super cute. It is hilarious. It felt like. Well, you explained the whole entire backstory to me, like Captain Underpants and all this shit like that. It seems like it fits perfectly in that world.
Yeah, I've read the books, because when I used to work at the school, I would read these books to the kids, and even I would sit there and laugh because the humor is just so offbeat and juvenile, but also like there's references in there for adults where I'm just like, that's wild. This movie is extremely faithful as far as storytelling and humor and spirit to the books. Like some of it is like 1-to-1 adaptation.
Okay.
But there's a lot they also held back on just because
they
realize adults are going to see this, and it would be watching like, it's like a graphic novel. So it's like reading a comic book. So the actual books. If you did a 1-for-1 translation, kids would fucking die laughing, but for adults, it'd be like, I feel like I am disassociating.
Yeah,
that's how it'd be.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this is definitely made for one audience and one audience alone, and that is kids. But it's also the rare kids movie where I'm like, me as a grown ass man, I love this shit because it's just so juvenile and weird. Like it's just like the books where it feels like kids wrote it, where it goes, and then this happened,
right,
and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened.
and it's so thoughtfully made, right? Like it felt like everybody who was making this loved it,
Yeah.
right? They were
Yeah.
making this weird ass kids movie.
5 minutes into the movie, my man has a 30-second ukulele theme song just out of nowhere.
Right. You know?
Just an instrumental, and then at the end, Dog Man.
Yeah. The fucking the intro sequence is weird as fuck. Like the jokes are so rapid fire. You kind of miss some because you're so busy trying to figure out the last one.
And then
Right.
it's not afraid to get mean either, where like the realtor's just like, yeah, that man and the dog got fused together, and the girl's like, I'm getting me a new boyfriend. I don't want to date, I don't know, dog man, half human, half dog. And then she turns around, she's like, oh, I gotta clean up. The house isn't ready yet. Can you go outside?
I like the timing, the comedic timing in this is great because those awkward pauses, right? Like there's so many awkward pauses in there with like that lets the joke land. Is like, oh, okay. So
Yeah,
you do what you were doing.
Like when they first build Dogman, where the one surgeon's like, I have an idea. What is it? We put the dog's head on the man's body. And they just stare at each other for like a minute, and then she goes, that's a great idea.
Yeah, like those are mwah, chef's fucking kisses. Yeah, my, like the voice acting across the board is great. I think Pete Davidson honestly should just become a voice actor.
Yeah, Isla Fisher plays the reporter. She is a fan of the series because she reads these books to her kids. So she's like, oh, yeah. Then I just fell in love with them. Pete Davidson said he reads them. He's like, yo, these books are hilarious. Kind of wish Big Jim had more screen time.
Second one, man. He's gonna this. If the fucking Minions
Yo,
can
remember
have
the
sequels,
the seesaw joke? Hey, Big Jim.
yeah, it's fucking the montages. I love the jail escape montage.
Yo, my man's just riding a giant vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, because like, what are dogs afraid of? Vacuum cleaners. So I'll just make a giant one. Like, this, I want to see this movie again, and that is. See, he's cracking up thinking about this shit. And it's
man.
And the movie's not afraid to get morbid, right? Like, so one of the main villains is a dead fucking fish, right?
Oh, that's straight from the book too.
That they bring back to life.
Yeah.
In the Bring Back to Life factory.
Bro, when they first introduced the fish, it is like a 2-second blink and you miss it joke. And I was just like, damn, they're referencing that already. I didn't know they were going to bring him back and actually put him alive, because this is like the first 3 or 4 books in one movie. I shit you not. Like, I was so surprised. I was like, oh, damn, this is further along than I thought they were going to go, man.
Yeah.
And they still have so much more they have not introduced. It's crazy.
Yeah, like I went from having no expectations for this movie to like, I need a sequel. Like,
yo, I cannot wait to see this in 4DX, dog.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's like I don't know how they're gonna do it, what they're gonna do, but it's just gonna be a wild fucking ride.
Yo, there's a car chase sequence where they're like, "Oh, Dogman, don't take that ramp. It's not finished, and it's a bunch of explosions. There's a box of explosions." So he drives off that uncompleted off ramp, and it just blows up behind him like Michael Bay style. It's ridiculous.
It's this movie is fucking crazy in the best ways possible.
The animation style is directly from the book, which Dave Pickley did on purpose to make it look like, you know, it's drawn by kids. And the fact they replicated that animation style in a $40 million budgeted movie is insane.
Yeah.
Like this, like as soon as it was done, I turned to Jeff. I was like, I can't believe this exists. And this is coming out on 3,000 screens across America this weekend.
And like God bless them for taking a chance and doing something interesting, right? Like, I swear to God, the last 2 years, animation has not failed me.
Like, you see why these books are huge now?
Oh yeah, 100%. I get it, 100%. I want to actually watch the Captain Underpants movie because of this.
I love how he uses his handcuffs just like in the books as nunchucks. And then later on in the series where he becomes an actual superhero, he uses 2 bones as nunchucks.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, fuck it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's get weird. Let's get fucking weird.
Little Petey becomes Cat Kid, and he has Wolverine-like claws.
Don't spoil the sequel for people, man. Let them discover. But like this shit's, I highly recommend this if you have kids. But as an adult, you'll go into this as like, all right, I get it. This is
do what every adult in America is gonna do, which is, families are gonna go in the morning, right? And then once it hits like 5:00, from 5:00 on, it's adult time.
Nothing but stoners.
Yeah, hell yeah, and drunk people.
Yeah, this is
like this is gonna be people stumbling out the bar and be like, all right, let's go see Dogman.
Yeah, this is. I was pleasantly surprised, and I can't say enough about this. I can't wait to watch it again this weekend.
Damn. I got nothing else. I'm looking forward to seeing it with my brother, and I look forward to seeing it in 4DX. Like, that 4DX is going to be wild.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be great.
All right, that is episode 149.
We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.